Hi there, my name is Joseph Cassidy. I'm the news editor for The Saint. I'm here with Sina Dashtebozorgy and he's running for Director of Events and Services. Hi Sina.
Hi.
Why do you want to be Director of Events and Services?
Well, through my friendship with Chris, which is a kind of incumbent, I was able to kind of see every aspect of the job. And very slowly I realised that's really something I wanted to do. It was mainly when I saw him kind of do all the admin, contacting events, contacting acts, and then at the end of the month or the week, you see the fruit of your labour coming into fruition and see them in front of your eyes, making students happy, allowing them to have a great time. Is so rewarding, and seeing the joy in the eyes of the students, it was just it got me very excited. Right now I'm actually shaking talking to you about this.
Yeah, so you're clearly very passionate about the job, but what experience do you feel you have that will prepare you for your position as Director of Services?
I think my enthusiasm aside, I helped out Chris during the Passion Freshers Week, just on the sideline at the box office, and basically I would stand by the side and just watch him do whatever he had to do during the day, and I think that really showed me all the ins and outs of the job, which I think going into the job, hopefully if I get elected, I'll have a very good idea what I'm doing, and I won't be as hopeless as other candidates who've not had the same opportunity. Well, they could have had the opportunity, but I was able to. I actually put aside some of my time. I stopped going to lecture because I wanted to see what the job was about. I kind of helped out Chris as a favour during the Freshers Week, and that really showed me the ins and outs of the job. And that was basically when I started thinking about it, thinking about running for the OS, because I realised I think I could give something back to the students. It's my last year and last semester in this university, but I thought before I kind of jump into the real world, I can give something back to this university that's allowed me to have such a great time. All these students that I've had fun with, I've had interactions with, if I can give something back to them, I think I could leave this university and know that I've left a legacy, I've made a few people happy, and I think that's what life is about, to leave a legacy and make people happy, and
Okay, so apart from your your closeness with Chris, and you've talked about how you worked with him during his year as the Wiz, what experience do you have of organising events and putting things on? Like, have you done it for societies? Have you organised things in the union? Like, what things have you organised? What have you organised?
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never done any of that sort of stuff. But then, the main kind of experience that I have that I can bring to the job is the involvement, the help that I gave to Chris during the first week. That kind of, that does count as an experience, because I know the ins and outs of the job now. So I think that's what I'm going to count on and rely on to the job.
Do you not fear that having not organised a big event, because obviously Freshers Week and Refreshers Week and all the other things that the West puts on are really, really big events and they're weeks at a time. So do you feel like your lack of experience will harm your prospects?
Absolutely not. We've got a precedent. Chris hadn't had any experience setting up massive events and massive kind of official events, and I think he's done a fantastic job as a OS. So I don't think you necessarily need to have organised massive events to be able to come in, because you've got 3 months before you have to put any events on. That's plenty of time to learn the job and learn how to run an event. I don't think I'll have any problem with that.
One of the main things in your manifesto was you spoke about the idea of student well-being, which is actually something that's looked after by the Director of Representation. So you maybe want to go into your plans of how you would do that as DOES?
Well, I believe my job is my job is the one that is most visible to students, because I'll be the one running all the events, and I've got a huge number of students attending the events that I organise. So I think I can be a great help to the rep by allowing whatever campaign is running, whether being anti-drug campaigns, anti-sexual violence, or any of that sort. I can allow the channels that I've got, all the events, I can allow him all the resources that I have to put posters up, to use projectors, maybe project the campaign on the walls. There's plenty I can do because there's going to be loads of people coming to my events, and I can do my best to just hammer those the message of those campaigns into people and help the girl around to have this campaign seen by as many students as possible.
How would that differ from like previous things that the Doors has done to help with campaigns like this?
I don't think they've done enough. For example, having a projector at an event where all like now and then you kind of project kind of subliminal messages to people where they can be seen at like in massive scales. Those campaigns, I think that will be quite different, and I don't think anyone's done that before.
One of the other things you mentioned in your manifesto is the idea of a pre-sale plan to organise bigger events, so people could buy tickets beforehand, and that way they would show the university that there was the demand there for such an event. Is this plan feasible?
I believe so. Yeah, I really, truly believe this. I really worked hard on this. I spoke to a lot of people, and I'm going to go through with you in a lot of details and explain to you how I'm going to do this. So basically, before I came up with this idea, I had this idea in my mind. Every time, basically, I would come back to the university after the summer holiday. I see this excitement in town for these massive events that are coming to the union, and it would always hurt me to see that you have to wait another 5 months or maybe another year for the next Freshers' Week to start getting excited for another massive event coming to the union. Then I thought, why do I not try to make that a reality for everyone, so you can get, for all the students in this town, so they can get excited for another big act coming to the union in the next few weeks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my PR team basically will come up with a few acts that I personally believe students will have a massive interest in. Use my PR team to set up polls online, use whatever other various means they've got in mind to get the student to vote on those acts, and then we'll find out what act has most kind of amount of interest in. But then most of those big acts that get the students excited are sadly quite costly to bring to the union, and we know our union operates out of charity, which restricts what we can and cannot do, what acts we can and cannot bring. But the way I'm going to go around this, I'm going to set up a crowdfunding scheme, because I know already, using from the polls that we've set up online and the votes that we've got, I know there's a huge amount of interest in this act. I can tell everyone, right, if you come and buy the pre-sale ticket, I can promise you to bring this act to the union. And after that, I can go to the people that are in charge of the financial running the finance in the union, and show them, look, I've got the massive interest. If that's not enough for you, I've also got the money in. So I don't think I think it's absolutely feasible, because I'm going 3 steps. So firstly, making sure there's interest in that act. Secondly, when I've got the interest backing me up, then I start allowing people to buy pre-sale tickets, go to the people in charge of finance of the union, show them the interest, and show them the money that I've already got in, and I don't think why that's not possible.
One of the things you mentioned there was the idea of bigger acts and bigger venues and more that people being able to come to events, and that's obviously quite a big thing that's happened. People are like eager to come to acts that are bigger. People are eager to come to things that are bigger events in general. How would you make events bigger and maybe get more bigger venues? How would you do that as Lewis?
I mean, getting bigger venues is not exactly in my, it's not going to fall under my responsibility. I mean, we've got I think we do have a big enough venue for bringing big acts. It's just the fact that we're not utilising it, or we haven't brought big enough acts. So I don't think venue 1, I think venue 1 is a great venue. It has a 1,200 capacity, and that's fantastic for bringing big acts. I don't think we need a bigger venue.
You also spoke about like your plans for drink pricing in the union, and
at the weekend bar.
Yeah, have you at the weekend bar? So you really just want to go into detail and explain them?
Basically, I think the place at the weekend bar is a great place for people to come in and kind of wind down, relax, catch up with their friends that they haven't seen for a few days. After you've spent kind of most of your days in lecture theatre doing homework or in tutorials writing essays. I think that's got Beacon Bar has a great potential. So what I've decided to do, I would like to establish a happy hour at the Beacon Bar, calling it Beacon Hour, from Wednesday through to Saturday. So on day one, at the start of day one, which is Wednesday, I start advertising a certain cocktail, sold at a very affordable price. People can come in, enjoy a fancy cocktail at an affordable price. That's not going to price them out of their pocket. They can catch up with a friend, wind down, enjoy the day, have a chat with a friend, and just have fun. I really believe in this idea. I've spoken to a lot of people and have really liked it, and I think I'll catch on. And then that'll also bring a lot of variety, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a drink of the cocktail of the day on Wednesday, then another one on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then next week I'll completely change up the menu. So I'll bring an amazing variety to the Beacon Bar, which will get a lot of people excited to come and try new cocktails. And yeah,
you've clearly got a lot of really good ideas or really sort of great ideas for changing things in the union, bringing in new things, and sort of making the experience better for students.
Yeah.
One of the things that DOES needs to be able to implement these ideas is good relations with everyone who works in the union. More than any of the other SABs, DOES needs to know who works in the union, needs to be able to work with them, needs to know who gets things done, and needs to know so they can speak to them to find out if an idea is possible. What relations do you have with the people within the union itself?
Well, at the moment, I am very good friends with every single member of the bar staff. I know Tony, the commercial manager. I've actually spoken to him before. I know Ian Couples. I know the new bar manager. I didn't manage to speak to him because I was really busy. I know them. I know pretty much everyone. I know some of the people in the finance kind of who do the finance kind of accountant. I know they're kind of. I'll just continue. Well, I understand how the kind of the inner workings of the union. I know the bar staff, majority of the bar staff. I know that Tony, the commercial manager. I know Ian Couples. What's his job again? Human resources. Sorry. I think I've spoken to all of these people before, so I think I'll be able to work with them really closely. So yeah, I know who's in charge of what. So I think I can work with them really well. Yeah.
And have you spoken to any of them about for instance, your ideas for the Beacon Hour? Have you spoken to any of them about the ideas of these, working with drinks, promotional prices, and other things?
Sadly, no, I didn't get an opportunity to speak, for example, with their new bar manager, because he was appointed quite recently, so he was really busy, so sadly I couldn't. But yeah, I would have really liked to have a chat with him, but because he was appointed quite recently, and it was really busy, had a very hectic schedule, I didn't manage to do that yet.
But you are confident that you will?
I will be, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I think that'll bring a lot of crowd in, and we can make actually, again, because the union always has a charity, we don't want to make any losses yet. I think we can make this work. Yeah.
One of the things with smaller societies recently is that they've often said that they feel disadvantaged compared to a lot of the bigger societies that traditionally organise events in the union a lot. What would you do to reach out to smaller societies who often feel like the union ignores them?
Well, I had this idea of making smaller societies more visible by splitting up the freshers and refreshers into multiple days. That way, the smaller society can gain more visibility, and I think and also added to that, I think as a DOES, I would try to reach out to them as opposed to wait for them to reach out to me. I would be happy to, and I would do my utmost to actually go up to them and have just brainstorm with them, ask them what they like to see at the union, or maybe if they like, for example, those two these smaller societies, I can get them together and maybe have them, because if a society is way too small, they obviously can't, it'd be hard for them to organise an event. Maybe I can clump up a few societies together, have them sit in and come up with an idea that they can bring to me, and then I can organise that event for them.
As a final summary question, can you explain to voters why they should vote for you as Director of Events and Services?
Well, I believe I've got great ideas, but also I've got the enthusiasm. I think that combination will allow me to bring great changes to the union, and I will want to make the union the best place in town, the most fun, the most entertaining. That's got everything for everyone to do.
So is there anything that you want voters to know that I haven't asked?
No, I think you've asked very good questions, and I think I've answered them to the best of my ability.
Okay. Thank you, Sina, for speaking to us. Make sure to check out the rest of our interviews online or on our YouTube channel. One of the big things is because you've given your experience as clerical convener, you've given your experience as president of the Just So Society. Well, obviously, do you have any experience of like working with people within the union? Because obviously, as a SAB, that's what you would do. You'd work within the union. Do you feel like you have the know-how, the ability? Do you think you feel you're able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so for example, anything on, or everything rather, on my manifesto, I have already come in and spoken to Tony and Gillian about. Gillian manages all the accounts, and Tony, who's our commercial manager.